Good afternoon and welcome back to the Bloomfield High School Gymnasium for the third day of the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament. The game we have in store is the first game of the fifth place bracket where against the Twin Rivers Royals and the Richland Rebels. My name's Terry McVeigh, and with me is longtime high school and college official and director of officials for the tournament, Lloyd Rice. Lloyd, Richland and Twin Rivers both had disappointing losses yesterday. I thought Twin Rivers played in one of the best games of the tournament so far, and they gave Bernie, the top seed of Bernie Mules, everything they wanted. And Richland hung around and stayed with Dexter and only lost by 10 in that game, played a very, very good game. So what do you think we can expect out of this game?
Well, I like both of these teams. I think they're very evenly matched. Twin Rivers was just outstanding last night. A lot of energy from the get-go. Probably a lack of depth showed up at the end, don't you think?
Yes.
But a ton of energy. The shots went down for them, and they gave Bernie all they wanted and probably even a little more. The Richland on the flip side of that was a real even matchup with Dexter. Probably one going in. They think that they're going to win and get the most out of. Dexter's had two good tournament games up here, and right now they're a good team, hard to beat.
I think Dexter's going to be very hard to beat in that semifinal game, which is later tonight. I think 6 o'clock tonight between Dexter and Bernie is going to be a real good one, and the place is going to be packed for that. There's no doubt. The thing that really impressed me with Twin Rivers was their defensive intensity. Bernie pushes the ball very hard, an experienced team, and it's a team that doesn't get rattled. But Twin Rivers' defensive intensity really upset Bernie's game, and I think Bernie feels that they knew they were in a ball game. And
they had them rattled defensively. You're right. A pressing team got pressed and pressed hard last night. The guards had all kinds of trouble, and it was just all about Twin Rivers. Again, I really think a lack of depth makes all the difference in the world in that game, the way it played out at the end. Tired legs and some shots went down for Bernie and some things they just couldn't chase down. So.
Yeah. A couple of guys from Twin Rivers got in some foul trouble and fouled out. But they left everything they had out on the court. Now, as far as the scoring for these two teams, it's a little bit different. Twin Rivers spreads theirs out pretty well. They have three guys that average over 10 points a game for the tournament. Between Garrett Stockton, Shear, and Matt Boyles, they're all in about the 12, 14 points a game, whereas, another player, Oberkramer's averaging 9. Richland relies on three scorers. That'd be two Thorntons, Mack and Drew Thornton, and Ryan Clefler, who is averaging 23 points a game.
Those three are really good players. They do the bulk of the scoring and the ball handling and the shot. A lot of things need to go through them. But I'll tell you what, this guy they just called out, this Mikey Latham, didn't play last year, but is as good a player as they've got. And when he kind of gets turned loose, he's hard to deal with.
I was very impressed with him yesterday. I thought he played a very good game against Dexter. For the Twin Rivers starters, the starters for Twin Rivers, Garrett Stockton, number 1, a 5'9" senior.
Ton of energy out of that guy.
Alan Michael Shear, a good shooter, 5'10" senior.
Really shot it well yesterday.
Matt Boyle, 6-foot senior. Mason Oberkramer, 6-foot junior. And Cole McBroom, a 6'2" junior. One thing about Twin Rivers, you look down the roster and you can look back with scorebooks and programs from past 4 or 5 years, and all you have to do is change the first names because there's a Stockton, there's a Moore, there's a Whitlock, there's Boyles, Oberkramer, McBroom. I mean, we've been calling those names for several years for Twin Rivers.
One thing about Twin Rivers, they lost a key scorer earlier this year in, Ryan Miller. Ryan's out for the season with a knee injury, and it's hard to account for an extra 17 points on a high school team,
Sure
and
is.
that's kind of what he brought to the table.
Oberkramer's running the point. Richland's in a man-to-man. Oberkramer spins, kicks it back to Boyles. They set their offense. Sheard pops, can't get it to go. Rebound by Michael Latham. They'll bring it out to Mac Thornton, to Drew Thornton, who on the baseline, nice defensive play by McBroom to interrupt the shot.
A little bit of a partial block, it looked like. And Drew's hard to do that on.
Yes,
Drew Thornton's about as good in the post as there is in Southeast Missouri.
Especially for somebody his size. There's an offensive foul on Cole McBroom. Drew Thornton held his ground. McBroom's first, team's first. We played almost 1 minute, and there's no score. Twin Rivers is going to press out of bounds. 2-1-2 zone press.
I think that's a good idea for Twin Rivers, no matter if they're a pressing team or not, just to get that energy and those legs under them. It's hard to do what they did last night and come out and play in the middle of the afternoon.
Shear from the wing, and he gets the two.
That guy can shoot.
Shear's a good shooter. Richland's being patient. Just as I said that, it goes the ball out of bounds.
They had that real good shooter in Whitlock, the older Whitlock last year that really lit him up. And very similar game last night as that last year against Portageville.
Parker Evans in the game, a 5'7" junior for Richland. Cole McBroom with a nice baseline move. Scored 4-0 in favor of Twin Rivers. The Twin Rivers keeping the press. Good patience by Richland. Breaks it underneath. It'll be a foul. It's going to be on Shear, his first. Jesse Brown will inbounds the ball for Richland underneath their own basket. In the Mac Thornton. He gets it up, can't get it to go.
I'll be interested to see Terry, Richland's big 6'10" freshman, when he gets into the game, at what point.
Yes, it will.
He's a tough matchup for just about anyone.
No, anybody. It's one of those things like, you say you can't coach speed. Well, you can't coach. You can't develop 6'10" either. Drew Thornton with a nice baseline move. 4-2 in favor of Twin Rivers with 5:30 left in the first quarter. Drew Thornton with the interception. Takes it up. Was going to pass it over to Mac.
Outstanding defensive play by Oberkramer.
Oberkramer made an excellent defensive play. And then on the other end,
and then Jesse Brown returns the favor. That's good defense there.
Two good defensive plays. They both held their ground with their arms in the air without making the forward motion that usually gets the foul called. Oberkramer off the backside of Thornton. I think if he'd have scored that, you'd have to call that an assist.
That was a good heads-up play by him. Uh-huh. He was just too close to him when he got the ball back.
Yeah, he was coming in from out of bounds. They hadn't established there. That from three. A good shooter, good offensive player. Randy Moore in the game for Twin Rivers. Back out to Stockton. Missed three.
Last night, those first couple they launched went in, and they were off to the races. So there's a
nice set by Cole McBroom. Squared himself up to the basket real well. Took his time and made the shot. Three-pointer makes 7-2 in favor of Twin Rivers. 4:30 left in the first quarter. Twin Rivers playing the zone, 2-3 zone. Mac Thornton was trying. He looked like he was going for a shot, and Kleffler thought he was, but he was going to pass it, didn't, and they got their wires crossed. Overcramer with the miss. Off McBroom out of bounds. Looks like we're going to have a timeout.
Good
30-second timeout. Good timeout for Richland. And we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm State Representative Terry Swinger. Parents are our children's first teachers. That's why I support the Parents as Teachers program. Parents as Teachers provide parents with information on child development through personal home visits, group meetings, developmental screenings, and a resource network. The program is free of charge for all families. For more information, contact your local school district.
Okay, we're back with 4:14 left in the first quarter. Twin Rivers is leading Richmond here in the 5th place bracket.
Terry, it could always change, but it's hard to pin down a team that's had plays any harder at the Christmas tournament and gets most out of their guys as Twin Rivers the last couple of years. I just really think they get after it, play hard, and play over their heads.
And they've done it year after year after year. I remember one of the best games I remember seeing in this Christmas tournament was probably 7 or 8 years ago. A game that semifinal game, Twin Rivers against
I know
Dexter.
exactly. Yep.
And that was a classic game. Overkramer off the steal, lays it in, makes it 11-4 in favor of Twin Rivers. Got another timeout by Richland. It's a 30-second timeout. They're having trouble getting the ball inbounds. And we'll be back in a minute.
I chose Three Rivers Community College because it's a great place to start.
I'm taking the same freshman and sophomore classes as at a university, but at TRCC they cost a lot less and financial aid goes further. I love the individual attention. My teachers are great and classes are convenient. Learn more at www.trcc.edu or call 877-TRY-TRCC.
Start here, start now at Three Rivers Community College.
Learn more online at trcc.edu.
All right, we're back with 3:33 left in the first quarter. Twin Rivers has jumped out to an 11-4 lead. Their defense and their defensive pressure is really that's not taking Richland out of the rhythm. Richland has never gotten in the rhythm. There's a good break of the press. Thornton over to Kleffler for 2, makes it 11-6. A little three-quarter pressure being supplied, and foul by Mac Thornton out front. His first, team's first. Ryan Moore gets the ball still. Kleffler comes out with it, and good hustle on the part of Boyles, but it rolls out of bounds. It'll go back over the Richland. Twin Rivers staying with the 2-3 zone, but it's not a passive 2-3 zone. They're coming out and matching up pretty well.
No, they do. It's very similar to a matchup zone defense. They extend it quite far.
Overkramer looked for the 3, didn't have it. Good rebound underneath by Thornton. Off the miss by McBroom. Okay, we're going back and forth and back and forth. We got steals by Stockton and Brown. Kleffler from the wing can't get it to go. Drew Thornton with a tip, can't get it to go. Latham's tip doesn't go. Rebound by Broom. Boyles underneath, can't get it to go. We're going to have a foul.
I believe that's going to be McBroom.
McBroom, fifth McBroom, that's his second. He's going to sit down for a while. 2 minutes, 1 second left in the first quarter. He gets his second foul. Twin Rivers is ahead 11-6. Twin Rivers pressure, again, causing Richland some problem getting down the court.
It's good. Good press break there. That's a good way to
They've
handle
been
a
doing
press.
that pretty well.
Yeah.
When they get it into Thornton in the middle of the court, he's been able to either dribble down the middle of the defense or been able to throw to one of the wings and break the press.
Yeah, they won't stay in a press long when you're doing that to it. That's just too easy.
First free throw by Kleffler is good. And again, one thing that they have to emphasize, you don't have to get in a hurry to break a zone. And the last couple of times down when they've broken it, they're not getting in any big hurry. 10 seconds in a basketball game is a long time.
It certainly is.
Couple of Boyles from the side, and that's good for three. Second three-pointer for Twin Rivers. Kleffler drives to the lane, and he gets 6 for Kleffler in the quarter. 14-10. Richland cuts the lead. Overkramer tries the lane, a little floater, can't get it to go. Shearer on the tip, and he's fouled. Looks like it's going to be on Latham. Good hustle by Sear. Shearer will go to the line.
Shearer crashed the boards, followed his shot well.
He'll go to the line for 2. First one's good. Second one won't go. Rebound Latham, and he falls to the floor and walks.
There it is. I was waiting for
There,
that three
okay,
to get put up, Terry, and that was it. There was a discrepancy on whether it was a 3 or a 2, and
we're talking about the Boyle shot.
That's the trip earlier that you got it right.
Good feed from Overkramer down to Boyles. His 5th point of the quarter. Latham gets it in the corner to Kleffler. He drives. Drop down to Forshee. He's in the game, the big 6'10" freshman. Nice feed from Kleffler to Forshee for the 2. Forshee will definitely clog up the middle. They're playing 2-1-2.
Well, and it's exactly plays like that, Terry, that he doesn't do anything special or fancy. He's just 6'10", and it's a whole lot easier to make that layup and receive that pass.
Shearer from the corner can't get it to go. Good hustle by Stockton. Latham with the rebound. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Mac Thornton runs the ball down the court, pulls up, back out to Latham. 4 seconds to go. Three-pointer, Jesse Brown for 3, making it a 17-15 game in favor of Twin Rivers. Twin Rivers kind of dominated that whole quarter, but then a couple of shots at the end by Richland gets it back to a 2-point game, so we've still got a good one going.
Nice recognition by Jesse, realizing time's running short. He's probably not their number one option for a three-point shooter, but at that point, when it's second left, everybody's number one option.
Well, that's one more point than he scored in the tournament. But what he did, he took his time. He set it up and squared it up and made a good shot. I'd like to remind you of our sponsors for this game at Three Rivers Community College, Lincoln Lacey Motors, New Wave Communications, and State Representative Terry Swinger. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're back for the start of the second quarter. Richland with the ball, trying to tie it up. There's Mac Thornton with a tip, can't get it to go. Good rebound by Overkramer. He brings it up over to Boyles. Boyles with a good drive down the lane. He can't get it to go. Jesse Brown with the rebound, and he's fouled underneath by Moore. Randy Moore, his first foul. Team's fourth, fifth. Again, Twin Rivers keeping the pressure on. Last few times, Richland has handled the pressure well, and they do it again. Textbook.
Doesn't get any cleaner than that, Terry.
No.
That's they've got the magic recipe for that. Drew's a great middle presence on that.
Yeah, when they get it into him in the middle, he's knowing what to do with it and not getting in a big hurry. Like Richland's back in the man-to-man. Stockton underneath, and he's fouled. Hard foul by Parker Evans.
Well, Parker got his money's worth.
He's got his money's worth. Stockton wasn't going to make a three-pointer on that play. But he'll go the line, try to get two. He hasn't scored yet. First one's good. Twin Rivers now 2 for 3 from the line.
These Twin Rivers guys play a lot of baseball. Good baseball bunch over there, too. They've got some good weight room bodies, you might say. They may be short in stature, but good frames on them.
Well, Bernie's a lot the same way. They both have very good, and their basketball players are good baseball players. Like, for instance, Jake Welch is going to go to Southern Illinois University on a baseball scholarship.
And it's a not only a neat thing, but a pretty impressive thing. Division I athletes aren't real common in Southeast Missouri.
That's right.
That says a lot. If you've seen him play shortstop, speaking of Jake Welch, you can see why. He plays a little bit different game than you normally watch at the high school level.
Well, he's good athletically, and he's also just a very intelligent athlete. There's Latham out for three. I'm up short. Oberkramer with the rebound, feeds it out. Like Mac Thornton got a hand on that and deflected. Otherwise, Stockton was going to be down for a layup. Josh Bland in the game for Twin Rivers. He inbounds to Oberkramer. Skip to Boyles. Good anticipation and steal by Thornton. Over to Mac Thornton. Mac Thornton will get most of his points just that way, just by beating everybody down the court.
Yep. Drew, great assist, great headsy play. When he stole the ball, you could see it on his eyes. He knew to shoot the gap, and
yeah, he didn't just steal it and hold on to it. Drew Thornton's going to pull it up. The steal by Moore. I think the Richland coach tonight may have thought there was a foul there.
Really got to appreciate Drew Thornton's effort, and he's played a lot of varsity basketball games the past 3 years.
He sure has. He's one of those guys. He's playing so much as a young varsity player. You kind of think it's kind of like the Wilson twins for Donovan. You think they think he's been playing for 6 or 7 years.
Fifth-year senior Drew Thornton, yeah. And as as an official or just a basketball fan in general, you really like the effort, the enthusiasm a guy like Drew gives you too. Because not only is he good, been on all tournament teams and all the really neat stuff, but he's just a real good sportsman. He'll pick other players up, pat them on the behind, the whole thing. He's just kind of a general pleasure to be around.
He's fun to watch play because he plays the game the way it should be played. He's unselfish. He plays defense. He sets the picks. He does the things that don't show up in the scorebook, and he plays defense. He's just enjoyable to watch him play. Richland has really jumped out on Twin Rivers this half. Of course, Mac Thornton has jumped out on Twin Rivers this quarter. The score in the second quarter is Mac Thornton 6 and Twin Rivers 1. With 5:14 left in the half, Richland has jumped out to a 21-18 lead. Richland's back in 2-1-2 zone. There's a three by Josh Bland, who had just gotten in the game a few minutes ago. Ties the game at 21 with 4:49 left in the first half. And Twin Rivers with their aggressive zone. Mac Thornton beats it and gets the pass just a little bit low to Kleffler, and he can't handle it. Good ball back over to Twin Rivers. They have an opportunity to come back and take the lead. And I think there'll be several times we can say somebody has an opportunity to take back the lead. Nice give and go.
That was a good-looking play.
Boyles and Oberkramer.
Looked like it caught Richland in between defenses almost.
Yeah, they
shuffling from a zone to a man or something was going on, and Oberkramer didn't let him get that done.
No. Backdoor with the ball out front. Gets it into. Good hustle by Bland. Looks like they have a jump ball between Kleffler and Stockton. Alternate possession goes over to Twin Rivers. Looks like Stockton may have hit his head a little bit on the floor, but
it looked like he caught a knee in the ear there.
He's not coming out.
I'm pretty sure it could be falling off his head and he wouldn't come out. He's pretty tough.
Ball's out front. Pump fake. Drew Thornton playing defense, got in the passing lane, disrupted that entry pass. Thornton with a beautiful bounce pass over the Kleffler, and Kleffler lays it in.
He's a good passer. My goodness, he just doesn't make many mistakes passing the ball after he handles it.
No, and those were, good fundamental, the old bounce passes, which you don't see enough bounce passes.
No.
Good feet underneath the Moore. He can't finish. Kleffler is going to lead the break. Over to Mac Thornton. No look pass. Mac lays it up. Can't get it to go. Rebounds off of Mac Thornton. Back over to Twin Rivers. We're tied at 23 with 3 minutes and 14 seconds left in the first half. Got it. Substitutions coming in. Jacob Whitlock. They have him listed at 5'10" in the junior. Yet his older brother was a player for Twin Rivers last year and was a really good three-point shooter.
Coaches both making use of their timeouts.
Yeah, on the third day of the tournament, you got to know when to rest your guys. Because 4-day tournaments, that's a lot of basketball for these young men. I know they're in shape, but even when you're in shape, especially the way the game of basketball is played now.
There's some exciting news in the workplace. Cable.
The way basketball is played now, it is such a physical game. It's just the wear and tear on your body.
Hey, I'm Kurt Hill.
Boyles with turnaround from the free throw line. It won't go. Latham with the rebound. Feet underneath Kleffler. Nice move around Boyles, and he now has 10 for the game. Whistle on the floor.
Must have a player bleeding or something. There you go.
That's Randy Moore. He's not hurt. It just got scratched. Josh Bland comes in for him.
Ryan Klepfer on that last move. That's he's very adept when he goes to the floor at about 2-3 dribbles. He's tough to handle.
Stockton tried. There's Mac Thornton. That's just a little bit too high for him. And one thing Kleffler will do, once he beats somebody a couple of times like that, they'll back off of him, and then he'll shoot the three or shoot from outside. He's a very good shooter. Richland's mixing up their defenses. They're back in the 2-1-2. Feed into Boyles. Can't get it to go. Latham will bring it down the court. Again, Twin Rivers pressuring their defense. There's another three up.
What a rebound by
go Drew Thornton with another athletic move. Just can't get the ball to drop. Oh, nice dribble fake. And there's Shearer with a nice three. Alan Michael Shearer now has 6 in the game. Gives Twin Rivers a 1-point lead, but Mac Thornton gets it right back on a feed from Drew Thornton. Another good give and go. Nice jump stop and shot by Josh Bland. He now has 5 in the quarter, 5 in the game.
Bland's come in and fit in real nicely.
And Bland hadn't, the first 2 games of the tournament. And this is something you always see in this tournament. You get guys that don't do a whole lot of playing in some games. They'll come in and show what they can do.
That's a good point.
Bland has 5 points in this game. He had 2 points in the tournament before this game.
And looks real cozy doing it.
Sure.
Not a bit rattled. And
Whitlock underneath. He's surrounded but gets out of it, gets the ball out.
That is going to be a tough place for Whitlock to maneuver.
There's Drew Thornton out to Mac. Mac again, Snowbirds, and gets another 2. That's 10 for Mac this quarter.
Twin Rivers is going to have to get somebody back. That's Drew Thornton rebound and throw it long is the combination there.
And they've been doing it the entire this entire tournament. Okay, that's the end of the first half. The score: the Richland Rebels 31, Twin Rivers Royals 28. We'll be back in a minute.
There's some exciting news in the workplace. Cable is getting down to business. That's right. New Wave Communications' expertise and state-of-the-art technologies for internet and phone are the perfect solution for your business. Our solutions are flexible, our service reliable, and our prices are just the sort of bottom-line advantage your business is looking for.
Call New Wave Communications today at 866-460-WAVE.
Hey, I'm Kurt Hillis at Lincoln Lacey Chevrolet. We've got a full line of GMC, Chevrolet, and Buick products. I'll pass it over to my Ford man, Charlie Thacker.
GM's not your thing? Come check us out here at the Ford Dodge Jeep store. Check out my man Blake on the internet, LincolnLacey.com.
If you don't have time to come down to Malden, check us out on Cars.com or AutoTrader.com. And if you need financing, I'm going to pass it to my man Robert Sanders.
And our ultimate goal here at Lincoln Lacey, no matter your situation, is to pass the savings on to you.
Okay, we're back at halftime at the first game of the fifth round bracket of the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament. This is the third day of the tournament. This is a game between the Richland Rebels and the Twin Rivers Royals. Richland leads 31-28. And run down the scoring for the first half. Garrett's Twin Rivers is led by Alan Michael Shear with 6 points, 5 from Josh Bland, 5 from Matt Boyles. Cole McBroom has 7. He leads the team in scoring. Mason Oberkramer played a fine floor game, has 4, and Garrett Stockton has 1. Twin Rivers led by Ryan Kleffler Richland is led by Ryan Kleffler with 12 points, Mac Thornton with 10, Drew Thornton with 4, Jesse Brown with a 3 right at the end of the first quarter, and Richard Forshee, the big 6'10 freshman, has 2. The scoring for Twin Rivers, as is shown in the past, is pretty well spread out. We got 4 guys with over 5 points, and the scoring for Richland, it's concentrated. Although Drew Thornton only has 4 points, you got Kleffler and Mac Thornton with already in double digits. What are your thoughts about the first quarter, Lloyd?
Well, right off the bat, Drew is responsible for several of those points on those outlet passes there. I'm assuming Mac is a cousin, I think. So he owes him a little bit for that. But Richland's kind of playing the tempo and doing the things they want to do. This isn't the energy level or the way that Twin Rivers wanted it to be played, and Richland absolutely controlling the boards, getting almost every rebound, and they're going to be able to do what they want. Just completely walking through that press early, so Twin Rivers had to come out of it, and gonna have to find a way to shut that three-pronged attack down, meaning Kleffer, the 2 dribbles and the scoring, and going to have to control some rebounds, keep them out of Drew Thornton's hands to make a difference in the second half.
And keep it out of Drew Thornton's hands, and you're going to have to get somebody back because back Thornton's been snowbirding, and he had 10 points in the second quarter. The energy level, quite frankly, the energy level that Twin Rivers has in this game isn't the energy level they had last night against Bernie. Of course, it's easier to get up for the number 1 seed, and those schools are in fairly close proximity to one another. You know, all the kids play baseball against each other, they play basketball against each other. They're playing against each other all year round, so they know each other well. They're friends, and that's just the kind of game you're going to get up for. But I really anticipate that Coach Rob Brown of Twin Rivers is reminding them of that in the locker room, that their energy level isn't quite what it should be and what it was in the last game. And I anticipate Twin Rivers will be coming back out with a little bit of increased intensity. Richland, on the other hand, I thought they played very nice first half. They stayed within themselves. They didn't try to do anything they can't do. When Twin Rivers pressed, Richland took their time, got it to the center, let Drew Thornton kind of quarterback the breaking of the press, and I thought Richland played a very nice first half.
And McBroom there got in foul trouble, had 7 points in the first quarter alone. He's key to them. They need him in there. I got to wondering what happened to him in the second quarter. He spent most of it on the bench in foul trouble, so you can be assured he'll be a part of it in the second half. Really just Richland completely controlling the boards, hogging up the loose balls, and kind of controlling tempo, doing more what they want to do on both ends of the floor.
Well, we'll be back with the second half of action. I want to remind you of our sponsors of this game. It's Three Rivers Community College, Lincoln Lacey Motors, New Wave Communications, and Terry Swingers, State Representative. We'll be back with the start of the second half in just a few moments. Okay, here we are back for the start of the second half of the game, the fifth place bracket game between the Richland Rebels, Twin Rivers Royals. Richland leads 31-28.
Both these teams out from the halftime rather quickly, Terry. I'm like you. I think it's a lot less at this point to do with X's and O's as it is with energy and a little bit of gut and willingness. So we'll see how that plays out here at the start of the third.
They've got something to play for tomorrow. If they win this game tomorrow, they play tomorrow afternoon for the fifth place in the tournament against the winner of the Hayti Bloomfield game, which is the next game coming up. Loser has to go home and probably have to practice tomorrow. So the coach at halftime said, "You want to play a game tomorrow? You want to practice?" And they all want to play a game tomorrow.
They're both mixing up that zone quite a bit. It's a rather low scoring game by Southeast Missouri standards, and neither one of them probably real happy with their production out of that. Good rebound, great position.
Drew Thornton going to go to the line. And that's another foul by Cole McBroom. McBroom is very, very important to Twin Rivers, and he had to go to the bench early in the first half. Matter of fact, in the first quarter he went to the bench because he picked up 2 quick fouls, and now he's going to have to go back to the bench with his third foul. Dustin Teague in the game.
Drew just slipped around him, got position, and tipped that ball up and in.
First 3 points of the half go to Richland. 7 minutes left. Richland up by 6. There's Drew Thornton playing defense. Drop back in the passing lane. Latham all the way to the hole. Lays it up and in. That's his first 2 points of the game. But that was a good looking play. Oberkramer pushes in against Jesse Brown. Draws the foul. Looks like it'll be on Mac Thornton, who must have grabbed when he went by. No, it was on Jesse Brown. Mac was raising his hand, then I forgot you don't have to raise your hand anymore. Somebody's sleeping at the wheel on the defense. Let Teague in on the inbounds for a layup. Long pass to Cleffer underneath. He's going in. Thought about dunking it.
Teague, another junior from Twin Rivers. A lot of very, very good game last night. They've got some good juniors. This is a team that's going to have a nice bunch next year.
Yeah, and they returned quite a few players that played last year, and that was a very good team last year. But then they got some new guys. There's Mac Thornton from Drew, and he can't get that one to go, and he's down. Boyles on the drive, can't get it to go. Oberkramer down to Teague. He's tied up. Looks like it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow is going to go to Twin Rivers. Like Mac Thornton hit the floor pretty hard on that trip down. He's gone to the bench for a minute.
Really up there and off balance and just a weird.
He just came down. Just came down funny.
Just a weird. Lost his shoe.
There's Teague.
All kinds of things happen then, but not a foul. It's just kind of a funny whiff and a way to land.
Another good break by the press by Latham gets it to Cleffer, who's either going to get a layup or get fouled. He got the latter, and fouls on Dustin Teague, his second, team's second. Cleffer again, a very good offensive player.
Good strong basketball move, powered up, and definitely they had to get real physical to stop him because he was going to the rack with it.
6'2" junior for Cleffer, so we'll be getting to see a lot of him next year. There's Shear from the wing, can't get that one to go, and a foul over the back by Boyles. Be his first, team third. good rebounding position. There's not a whole lot you're going to do with the ball comes off like that if the player in front of you has good position, except foul.
Except foul. That's
Drew Thornton on the wing. Latham gets the ball in the middle and banks it in. Don't know if he called it that way or not, but I guess it counts anyway.
It counts the same.
I like the way Latham plays. He said he didn't play basketball last year, but he's a good player.
Six in a row by him. He's having a good quarter. Big impact on this quarter.
And Richland's picked up the scoring pace quite a bit. Walls with the drive, and he's fouled. Richland's outscored Twin Rivers 12-4 in this quarter, and lots of those points are by breaking the press and getting out on the fast breaks off of rebounds. Foul was on Jesse Brown. His second, team second. Matt Boyles to the line, shoot two. Makes the first. Mac Thornton wasn't hurt. He's back in the game. I think he threw his shoe.
Tire change.
Yeah.
Pit row.
Yeah, he had one of those good crews. He had a good pit crew make tire change. There's Latham driving to the lane over the Kleffler for the short jumper. Can't get it to go. Rebound Oberkramer. Here comes Twin Rivers. Oberkramer pushing it all the way to Teague, and he's going to get one. Make the basket and one.
You know, Teague's long. He's what's he shown here at? I don't have he's
shown
height in
6'2"
the book, but he's long builded.
They show him at 6'2", but I think he might be a little bit bigger.
Coach Brown listing them all short.
Except for Whitlock. Good strong move underneath by Thornton. He gets fouled by Teague, but that's a good basketball move.
He's just not going to mess much up. If he gets somebody one-on-one down there, it's bad news for him.
Drew Thornton the line for two. That's Teague's third foul. Team's fourth. Thornton short on the first shot. Can't get either to go. Teague with the rebound. Outlet to Moore. With some pressure. Moore with a three-point from the corner, and it's good. Randy Moore with his first three of the game. Makes it a 43-38 game.
Good-looking shot from the left-hander. That's
about 5 straight points by Twin Rivers. Drew Thornton with a good move underneath. He's had a rebound between two guys.
Went up between those guys and kind of just took it away from them.
Nice move by Boyle.
Bulls.
Good
Man.
spin. It's a 45-40 5-point lead for Richland. Twin Rivers is cut in their lead in the last few minutes. 3:20 left in the third quarter. Boyles is just taken away from Kleffler.
He kind of single-handedly decided about 2 minutes ago to stop the run, and he's been in on about every play, it seems like.
Sure with the three, and and here comes Twin Rivers. They were down 11 just a minute ago, and they brought it back up to a 2-point deficit. They've outscored Richland by 9 in about the last 2 minutes.
And that is a tough shot of a step away three-pointer. That's wanting to get you one.
We'll be back. We'll be back in a minute. Oh, round table. Okay. Okay, one thing we'd like to invite you all to tune into every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock is the Sports Roundtable, hosted by Tyler Wagner. It's a really interesting show. It's a good live sports show, which Tyler does a very good job on. And he always has good, interesting guests, interesting topics, and it's again, it's something different for this area. Just like this live basketball is different, having a live sports show. And every Saturday morning on YHC TV and Channel 21 on New Wave. Tune in and see Tyler and his guests. Latham underneath with Twin Rivers. Another nice move with Latham. He has 8 1/4. Good call out of the timeout by Coach Walker. McBroom back in. So that's going to be a foul on Mac Thornton. He does raise his hand when the foul's called.
Mac's willing to accept that foul. That's right.
Or did they call the foul? No, they didn't call the foul. Just called it out of bounds. No, they did call the foul.
They did, yeah.
They did. Pat Richland's been a little passive with their zone, and Garrett Stockton said, if you're going to give me the 3, I'll take the 3, and he makes it, and it's a 1-point game. Mac Thornton back in the game. Feeds at the post. Cuttings in from Thornton back out to Kleffler. Those 3 played the triangle pretty well that time. Latham and Drew Thornton. We've been saying that name a lot. Drew Thornton slides in, gets the putback. 49-46 with 1:50 left. A little tangled up. Brown went down. It's going to call the foul.
Yeah, that's
foul's going to be on Moore.
Nothing intentional, nothing meant by it. Just feet tangled up, and a trip's got to be a foul.
When the feet get tangled up, and somebody goes down. There's going to be a foul, especially when that somebody has the ball. Leffler looked at the 3. Now Thornton's out front. Gets it to Latham that turned around at the free throw line. 10 points in the quarter for Latham. Makes it 51-46, and Richland puts 4 more points back on the lead. Twin Rivers got it back to 1 with less than a minute to go, but now Richland's come back and scored 4 straight, and they have the ball trying to extend the lead. And Latham's been the one doing it. 12 points in the quarter for Latham. Makes it a 7-point lead with 1 minute and 5 seconds left in the third quarter.
Man, Latham is on a tear.
Another 3 by Moore. They're going to leave him alone. He'll shoot it. And he's made 2 this quarter.
Man, these guys have erupted for a lot of scoring in the third here.
Sure have. Yeah, we were talking about at halftime how, on Southeast Missouri standards, it's a low-scoring game. There's Mac Thornton with a nice move up front. Gets his 12th of the game. First 2 of this half. 30 seconds left. Boyles from the corner. And Twin Rivers is raining the 3s.
You got like that. It's one passing in the air both ways.
That's 5 threes for Twin Rivers in this quarter. 15 seconds left. Twin Rivers has plenty of time for another shot. And going to be another 3 by Moore from the corner. Can't get that to go. Drew Thornton with the rebound. 6 seconds left. 5, 4. Thornton's going to pull up from 3. No, he's going to give Latham for a 2-shotter. 2-pointer and his 14th point. Latham was
That's the one
on
guy,
fire.
The one guy in the third quarter you want to find. And, wow.
Why do they say
great
on ESPN
quarter by
that
Latham.
was in fuego? That was a good quarter by everybody.
On Jake and Joe's PlayStation, that guy is definitely on fire. He would have had flames coming out of him.
Okay, we'll be back in a minute here for the fourth quarter of the game between Richland and Twin Rivers.
Hello, I'm State Representative Terry Swinger. Parents are our children's first teachers. That's why I support the Parents as Teachers program. Parents as teachers provide parents with information on child development through personal home visits, group meetings, developmental screenings, and a resource network. The program is free of charge for all families. For more information, contact your local school district.
I chose Three Rivers Community College because it's a great place to start.
I'm taking the same freshman and sophomore classes as at a university, but at TRCC they cost a lot less and financial aid goes further. I love the individual attention. My teachers are great and classes are convenient. Learn more at www.trcc.edu or call 877-TRY-TRCC.
Start here, start now at Three Rivers Community College.
Learn more online at trcc.edu.
Okay, we're back from the fourth and final quarter of this game between Twin Rivers and Richland. And Richland comes out, gets the first 2 points. Mac Thornton with a nice feed. Nice little post-up move.
Terry, Twin Rivers had a nice third quarter,
they scored
but
24
so did
points.
Mikey Latham. My goodness, 14 in the quarter and just outstanding from all angles.
Yeah, he must have heard us talking about
Absolutely.
the only 3 scorers on the team were the 2 Thorntons and Kleffler, and he wanted to add his name to it. Nice shot by Shearer, won't go. Latham with the rebound. And Latham's not only been scoring in that quarter, he was the one bringing the ball up against the press, and he's the one posting up against the zone. And there he is driving again. He has 16 in the game. That's as many points as he had in the first 2 games combined.
Who's ever controlling him on the PlayStation, he's doing his thing from all angles.
McBroom drove the baseline and drew the foul against Drew Thornton.
Drew got kind of bent over backwards on the last trip on a kind of a funny rebounding play. He's feeling it a little bit right now.
McBroom misses the first. McBroom has 7 points.
Not letting on to Coach Walker about it.
No, he wants to play. McBroom gets his second. He now has 8 points. He got 7 early in the first quarter, and has pretty much been a non-factor. He's been on the bench with foul troubles. Timeout, Richland. 30-second timeout. We'll be back in a minute.
There's some exciting news in the workplace. Cable is getting down to business. That's right. New Wave Communications expertise and state-of-the-art technologies for internet and phone are the perfect solution for your business. Our solutions are flexible, our service reliable, and our prices are just the sort of bottom-line advantage your business is looking for.
Call New Wave Communications today at 866-460-WAVE.
Okay, we're back here in the fourth quarter. 6 minutes and 54 seconds left in the game between Richland and Twin Rivers. Richland's ahead 61-53. The winner of this game will play tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 against the winner of Hayti and Bloomfield. Backcourt or a violation against inbound violation against Richland. The pass was not a violation.
That's right. The play is legal. Drew hadn't made it out of bounds yet. They passed it to him a little too soon.
Twin Rivers turns it right back over on a 5-second violation.
I believe we're going to grant Twin Rivers a timeout there instead.
At the time. They called time.
Yep, got a timeout.
It looks like they have a full timeout, so we'll be back in a second after these messages.
Hey, I'm Kurt Hillis at Lincoln Lacey Chevrolet. We've got a full line of GMC, Chevrolet, and Buick products. I'll pass it over to my Ford man, Charlie Thacker.
GM's not your thing? Come check us out here at the Ford Dodge Jeep store. Check out my man Blake on the internet, LincolnLacey.com.
If you don't have time to come down to Malden, check us out on Cars.com or AutoTrader.com. And if you need financing, I'm going to pass it to my man Robert Sanders.
And our ultimate goal here at Lincoln Lacey, no matter your situation, is to pass the savings on to you.
Okay, we're back with 6 minutes 53 seconds left in the fourth quarter of the game between Richland and Twin Rivers. Richland enjoys a 61-53 lead. Scores 57-52 at the end of three quarters. Richland scored 4. Twin Rivers only scored 1 in this quarter. Give McBroom trying to create something. He fell, and they called another timeout.
Called a timeout. We're just going to stay with it on this one.
Stay with this one. That's 30-second timeout.
The production team can't keep up with the rash of timeouts.
Well, that's about 3 timeouts. I think we played in the last 5 minutes of real time. We played about 6 seconds of basketball.
Heady play by McBroom. He kind of knew he was in trouble there. His older brother is the coach down at Holcomb. That's definitely a basketball family, the McBrooms. You talk about, it seems like there's been 6 or 8 of them come through in about the last 10 years.
And Holcomb's getting the programs coming around. They've been
certainly
really down for the last
Coach
2
McBroom's
years.
really doing a good job with them.
They've already won more games this year than they've won, I think, the last 2 years.
Problem is, I can't tell them apart. They all look alike.
And there's McBroom with 2. Good feed from Oberkramer. Oberkramer pressing Latham in the backcourt. He tries to get out of it. Dribbles through it, down to Drew Thornton. Drew Keffler, and a foul.
Drew is just a fine press breaker wherever he's kind of ending up with the ball at. I thought they were going to find themselves in trouble with a little too much dribbling there in the back court.
Keffler to the line. He's 3 for 4 from the line. He has 15 points, make that 16 points on the night. He's averaging 23 in the tournament.
Ryan's had a good tournament up here. A real nose for the goal, and you can tell he's played a lot of basketball.
Broom looked at the 3. Richland back. Nice give and go between McBroom and Stockton.
Tough shot.
Really tough shot.
Contorted himself to get it off with the left hand.
Keffler for 3. Just can't get it to go. Not Keffler, I'm sorry. That was Jesse Brown. Shear with the spin against Drew. Gets it to roll. Nice roll on that. Latham trying to break the press, and he's going to be called for walking. So the Twin Rivers press has caused a little bit of problems for Richland. Boyle's back in the game for Twin Rivers, replacing Randy Moore.
We're going to have a lot better success passing out of that than trying to dribble through it. And
yeah, trying to dribble through 2 and 3 men usually doesn't work.
On that initial pass, it's just impossible because that's the first place they've set up.
McBroom shuffle with the ball. He thought Boyle was going to go up with the ball and was going in to get in rebound position and got the feed and just didn't have his steps right.
He didn't expect that pass, nor did anyone else, so.
Drew Thornton with the ball. Latham with the good pick by Oberkramer. He takes the ball down the hole, and he can't get it to go. It's off of Drew Thornton. The Twin Rivers supposed to want the foul on that, but it's just good defense. Oberkramer will take it out underneath Twin Rivers' goal. Richland staying with the man-to-man. Down to a 4-point game with 5:10 left in the game. Oberkramer dribbles ball gets his foot on the baseline. Turns it back over to Richland. I expect Twin Rivers to stay with the press. It's given Richland a little bit more trouble than it did earlier. Drew Thornton in the corner. Latham underneath. He puts it up, and he's going to get one.
Really good pass recognition on that cut by Latham. I'd keep calling his number, Terry. What's he missing at this point?
And what Coach Walker appears to have done is creating some mismatches by bringing out Drew Thornton to the wings and creating a mismatch underneath with Latham around the free throw line and along the lane. And it's he's scored 18 points in the second half.
As long as a guy like Drew Thornton's willing to do that, and he's more than willing, it works out great.
Yeah. But I think they've created that mismatch where his quickness is a little bit too much for the guys underneath for Twin Rivers. Parker Evans over to Thornton against the zone. Kleffler drives in, gets partially blocked by Broom. Drew Thornton with the rebound, can't get it to go. Thornton with the tip, can't get it to go. Rebound, Stockton. He'll bring it up and it's kicked by Latham. Twin Rivers get it out of bounds. 4:14 left in the game, 6-point game, 65-59 in favor of Richland.
Where the energy levels definitely back, Terry, both ways. They're mixing it up and diving on the floor. Buckets a little bit harder to come by the last couple possessions, but loving the effort right now.
The energy level is very definitely back up for both teams. Shearer being guarded out by Parker Evans. Back to Shearer and a steal by Latham. Randy Moore with a good foul. Good foul to stop the 2-point play by Latham. Put Latham at the line. Or do they call on? Latham's going to go to the line, shoot two. Again, our sponsors for today's games: Three Rivers Community College, Lincoln Lacey Motors, New Wave Communications, and State Representative Terry Swinger. Latham will shoot two. He's 0 for 1 today. First shot's good. That gives him 19 in the game, all in the second half. Drew Thornton's going to get a little breather.
But it's not a very big one.
I bet it's not a very big one. I bet about the 2-minute mark he'll be back in. Latham with both, makes them both. He now has 20 in the half. It's a 8-point Richland lead with 3:47 left in the game. Richland staying with the man-to-man. Twin Rivers doing a lot of motion, drive to the lane by Boyles, and he's fouled underneath by Jesse Brown. Be Brown's third. Team 6, but Boyles is the shooting. He'll go to the line for 2. Boyles has 11 in the game, including 2 3-pointers. A few guys clutching the shorts now. It's good.
Looks a little bit
It's the third day. Yeah, it's the third day of a tournament. Leffer trying to break the press. That was a dangerous pass. Just dangerous place for it to be.
Place for it to end up, right.
Mac Thornton battles underneath, and the ball ends up going off of Stockton and Twin Rivers. It's back to Richland. They'll inbound it underneath their basket with 3:23 left in the game. Out to Kleffler. He'll control the ball, get it over to Parker Evans. Latham around the free throw line. They've got him matched up with Randy Moore now. And Latham will pull up. They're going to set up the offense. Twin Rivers trying to spread the defense. Latham Kleffler with a nice behind the back drive, but loses the ball. Latham, Kleffler in the corner. A little
pass intended in there for Mac.
Mac was double teamed. It's a tough pass to make. And Mac Thornton gets that rebound. 2:38 left. 7-point lead for Richland. Mac Thornton with a nice move again. Mac's been the recipient of some very good passes. That was a good one from Latham. Boyles goes all the way to the lane, puts it up. We've got a jump ball. It's going to go back to Twin Rivers. It's kind of like Christmas for Mac Thornton, I think, because he's getting a lot of gifts because he gets in good position, and he's been getting some good passes from his teammates.
And to his credit, he finishes them, and they're not always easy. He finds a way to put it in the hole and contort.
Shearer with the spin. He's going to be fouled. Foul on Jesse Brown. That might be his fourth. Some discussion over at the scorer's table.
We've buzzed it as 5. They're going to count them and make sure.
I have 4.
I think that's just what Lonnie's got as well.
I'm going to shoot 2. Shearer will go to the line for 2. He has 11 points in the game. 2 3-pointers. Make that 12. Narrows the lead to 8 points with 2:12 left in the game. Drew Thornton is back in the game for Richland. We didn't think his stay on the bench would be very long.
No, I pretty much, if I'm in red, I want him on the floor with me.
So. Okay, 7-point game with 2:12. We'll see. Twin Rivers will keep on pressing. We'll see how Richland handles it. Again, they have Drew Thornton in to break the press, and he does an excellent job of doing that. Twin Rivers playing the man. Richland's in no hurry. Spin move by Latham, and a good defensive play by Stockton. He held his ground. Latham spun in.
It's a really heady play by Stockton, and
that's
a no-brainer of a call. He just sucked him in there and got a charge picked up on him.
And that's hard to do because your first reaction is to go after the ball and go after the player. Shearer for 3 from outside, a little short. Shearer, good hustle, trying to beat Latham to the ball. Good hustle by Shearer. He ends up committing the foul. He's going to send Latham to the line for 1-and-1.
That 7-point lead, Terry, is hung from about that 3.5-minute mark, and it's starting to loom pretty large.
Yeah, there's a minute 40 left in the game, which is a lot of time in a basketball game. But like I said, the 7-point lead's kind of hung around the same place. When Twin Rivers looks like they're going to cut into it and get back into the 3 or 4 point level, then Richland does something to score some points. Now they have it back up to an 8-point lead. Latham now has 21, 22. He's perfect from the line, 4 for 5 from the line. 22 points, all of them in this half.
Without a point in the first half, that's a
spin move with Shearer. Looks like a nice defense play with Brown, but he did get
a little bit up and down the arm, a little too much stuff.
And that'll be his 5th. They have him for 7 fouls out on the scoreboard.
7 fouls.
They had that rule in the old ABA for a while. I remember Jim Jones, big 6'11" guy.
Long night last night.
I think he had 11 fouls in one game. Jesse Brown does foul out. Alan Michael Shearer makes the first. He'll get the second. Now has 14 in the game. Can't get the go. Cleffer with the rebound. Gets it to Drew Thornton. 1:25 left in the game. And
well, they're going to have to get it out of that guy's hands.
Drew Thornton breaks the press, gets it to Mack, gets it underneath to Drew, but a good defensive play by McBroom. There are the Twin Rivers. Now we're seeing the Twin Rivers intensity. We saw that the entire game last night. Now they're picking it up. It may be a little too late.
Terry, it's tough to maintain intensity as a player. This second half is riddled with weird stoppages. That whole series of timeouts and dead balls, and it's not got great flow. It's kind of a choppy, tough game to play for them. I'm sure it is.
Sure it is. And it's kind of like if you ever go watch a college game or a game that's on TV, when the one team seems to have some momentum, then they have the media timeout. Every 4 minutes they have a media timeout, and the whole game, everything just seems to stop, or it does stop, and it's hard to get that momentum
It's
back.
a game of little 4-minute segments, and it really does. I think it stops any big momentum swings because of that. Coaches know and coach toward those media timeouts and stoppages in play, and it's tough to adapt to.
Yeah, and those aren't 30-second timeouts either.
No. It's funny that you mentioned that, Terry. They completely run out of things to say too.
Yes.
There's only so much you can tell them for a minute and a half. You think a full timeout's long, a 90-second one is forever.
Okay, Richland will be inbounding the ball underneath their own basket. If they get it in, I look for Twin Rivers to go for a quick steal and then maybe start fouling, because there's a minute 10 left with 8-point deficit. Twin Rivers has not fouled yet. They're getting out to Latham. Richland's going to be content just to work the ball. Underneath to Drew Thornton for a nice move. Can't get it to go, but Mack's right there to clean it up.
That was a good, clean strip, and it looked like the defender ended up on the worst end of it.
Boyles with a nice spin. That was almost a goaltend. Michael Latham almost got up high enough for goaltending.
That would have been a poor choice of opportunities to goaltend.
And Matt Boyles will go to the line to shoot 2. That foul was on Kleffler, his second. First one's up, and it's good. Cuts the lead to 9. 48.3 seconds. Second one's no good. Drew Thornton with rebound, but it's stripped by Kramer over to McBroom. McBroom cleans it up. He now has 12 in the game. And Twin Rivers pressing the inbound, trying to deny the ball. 37.3 seconds left. You got a 7-point.
There's that 7
deficit.
Points again, Terry.
Back to 7. I think they're going to have to start fouling, and they are. Kramer with his first foul, going to send Latham to the line. Where Latham has been very good. He's 4 for 5 from the line. He'll shoot 2 as Richland is in the double bonus. Both teams are in the double bonus. .25 in the quarter, or 25 in the half for Latham, 25 in the game. Second one doesn't go. Rebound to Boyles. Twin Rivers will push it up. Don't know. They're going to go for the three-pointer. Just Randy Moore, and he's fouled. Outside, it's going to be 3 points. It's going to be 3 shots. Foul by Kleffler.
The one thing Coach Walker doesn't want to happen is to foul a 3-point shooter.
Absolutely not. It gives him a chance to get 3 points without the clock running.
2. He was on the line.
He was on the line.
Yep.
So it was his 2. This is the first. 24.7 seconds left in the game. An 8-point lead for Richland. Back to that 7. 7 points for Randy Moore.
Drew made
Long
sure he
pass
was
to
out of
Kleffler.
bounds then.
Leffler goes up, hard foul by Oberkramer. Leffler will go to the line. That's another full court pass, but Drew Thornton, he's very good at that. I've been impressed with Richland this game. Actually, I've been more impressed with Richland this game than I have the entire tournament.
I tend to agree. They've controlled tempo. They've kind of taken care of it, made it be their game.
Well, and what they did with Latham coming in the second half to put him down along the lane and around the free throw line, creating the mismatch. I mean, he's come in with 25 points. Drew Thornton gets the ball underneath. He's going to be fouled. 12.5 seconds left. It's 9-point lead for Richland. Drew Thornton will go to the line, shoot 2. Thornton has 11 in the game. Real quiet 11. They haven't looked for him for scoring a whole lot in this game like they have in some games in the past, but they've looked for him to do everything else on the floor.
And he's done that. He's been a press breaker and a rebounding machine in there.
He makes the first. Richard Forshee and Aaron Gilbert come in the game for Richland, and the Mac Thornton and Leffler go to the bench for well-deserved applause. Drew rolls in the second. It's 13 in the game. 12.5. It's a 9-point lead.
They're going to hit a bucket, and it's going to end up at 7.
It's going to end up at 7. Oh, missed the 3. Kyle Montgomery now in the game for Richland. Stockton still battling. And that's the game. That's the end of the first game of the 5th round bracket here at Bloomfield, with Richland defeating Twin Rivers 78-67. Richland will now play tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 against the winner of the Hayti Bloomfield game, which is coming up next. Right. We'll be back in a minute with the totals and a wrap-up.
Hello, I'm State Representative Terry Swinger. Parents are our children's first teachers. That's why I support the Parents as Teachers program. Parents as Teachers provide parents with information on child development through personal home visits, group meetings, developmental screenings, and a resource network. The program is free of charge for all families. For more information, contact your local school district.
There's some exciting news in the workplace. Cable is getting down to business. That's right. New Wave Communications' expertise and state-of-the-art technologies for internet and phone are the perfect solution for your business. Our solutions are flexible, our service reliable, and our prices are just the sort of bottom-line advantage your business is looking for.
Call New Wave Communications today at 866-460-WAVE.
Okay, we're back for the wrap-up of the game between the Richland Rebels and the Twin Rivers Royals, which Richland won by 9 points, 78-67. We'll wrap up the scoring real quick for the Twin Rivers Royals. They were led in the scoring by Alan Michael Shearer, who had 2 3-pointers and 14 points. Matt Boyles played a very hard game, had 13 points. Cole McBroom got into foul trouble after scoring 7 points early, ended up with 12. Randy Moore had 7, including 2 threes. Dustin Teague had 6 big points in the third quarter. He came off the bench and gave him a lift. Garrett Stockton with 4, Mason Oberkramer with 4. For the Richland Rebels, they were headed by Michael Latham. Didn't score in the first quarter and scored a total of 16 points in the first 2 games of the tournament, and he scores 23 points in the second half. Ryan Kleffler keeps up his good scoring with 19. He's averaging over 20 in the tournament. Drew Thornton, a very, very solid game, as always, had 13. Mac Thornton with 18, another good performance by Mac. Jesse Brown with 3, a big 3 at the end of the first quarter, and Ryan Forsey with 2 points. Lloyd, what are your thoughts about the game?
Well, it was definitely a tempo, at least in the second half, or for 2.5 quarters, just really controlled by Richland on both ends, don't you think? From kind of a telltale, a little bitty thing, but coaches hate to give up those threes at the end of a quarter, and I look back to Jesse Brown hitting that 3 at the end of the half there, and just a subtle bit of momentum change and a shift, and come out in halftime, and instead of being, a 4 or 5 point game, it's all of a sudden 1, and to come out, Latham was just on fire, just completely took the second half over. I wish there were better ways of keeping track of what Drew Thornton did. It just seemed like he was in on everything, breaking the press, rebounding, passing long, hitting the touchdown pass for the points, and just second half completely controlled by Richland there.
Well, it started out, looked like it was going to be Twin Rivers' game. I thought Twin Rivers was going to just take over the game. It started out strong. Again, I think you're absolutely right. When Jesse Brown hit the 3-point play, they went from 17-12 at the end of the first quarter to 17-15, and from there, Richland kind of controlled the tempo.
Right. And the early foul trouble by Cole McBroom, I really think loomed large, because it completely takes him out of the first half. Started off with 7 quick points, and then because of bench time is just not able to be a factor at all. And then even when he comes in, got dinked with a real early foul in the third quarter. And again, on the bench, he's just not able to do what he's able to do for him. And it rendered him, until he was able to come back late, to not a typical Cole McGrew game for him.
Yeah, he wasn't a factor after that initial surge because of the time he had to spend on the bench and the foul trouble he got into. But again, Michael Latham was the big story of the second half with 23 points. He got into the lane. They changed up their offense a little bit and created some mismatches, and Richland was able to take advantage of them.